Of young people. So there is one question I wanted to start by asking all of us here. That how does an HIV positive person look like? How does an HIV positive person look like?
They look like me.
They are saying that they look like him. Is it true? Yes, it's true. That is very unfortunate that most of us actually think that an HIV positive person has to be thick, they have to be dark, they're not fat. Most of us that they are, there is that image we have given to people living with HIV, and that is where the mistake has always come in. Like for me, that's where the mistake came in from. I was not born with HIV. My entire family, we're all HIV negative. I contracted HIV through a partner, and that was in the year 2016. But by the time I got to know, it had taken me some time. I was still with this person, and then as time moved on, I started falling sick, not like bedridden, but I would feel weak, I would feel sick. So my mom, being my friend, she asked me, how about you go and test? As a parent, how about you go and test? But by the time your parent asks you that, what do you have in question?
Sometimes they have a clue. I think they do when they are aware.
Yeah, sometimes they have a clue. My mom is old enough. She has been in the era of Haji Ali, so she had seen. She knew what AIDS was, but of course today we are looking at it as HIV because finally we were able to get medicine to treat HIV to reduce the number of AIDS we had by that time. So my mom asked me to go and test, but I was scared. And I suddenly picked on the courage. I said, okay, let me go and I do as she has told me. So I picked myself up, went to a certain health facility, and my results were negative. Yeah, you would ask yourself why? Why were they negative? The first time I tested, my results were negative. And it was not until a certain time, my mom asked me to test again. Actually, my aunt pushed for me to test again. So I told them, I have tested. These are my results. But my auntie was like, no, you go back and test again. I don't think this is the actual thing. So I said, okay, let me go and I test again. So my mom referred me now to Allied Medical Services. It's where I get my treatment from. And because she knew a relative who takes the medicine from there. So I went to a lab, I tested, and my results were positive. Now that doesn't mean that the first results were false. They were not. So my results came out positive, and I kept them to myself. I didn't know how to tell her that this is what came out of the test. Yeah? Imagine you were in that scenario. How would you approach your mom or your parent? Do you have an idea? That's how HIV is silent, yeah? Within us. It's a big fear. We feel. So I kept these results to myself. I didn't even know that maybe a counselor could help me. I was very green. I was very green. I didn't know what I would do at that point. So it was a certain point when my mother had gone to Singo. So she told me I would travel with her. Now when we went, she had these workers she was staying with at that place, and then she told me, "You're going to go with this my worker. She will push you to a hospital, and then you will get tested. Then you will let me know the results." But then I told myself, I already know my results. Now I'm going to go with this person who is going to somehow get to know about my results, which I didn't want to know. You get? So I said, I'm not going to go with this person to that facility or to that hospital. What I did, my mom had left to go for a certain journey, and then I got my phone. I texted her and I told her, "Mommy, I tested, but this is what came out of the results." By around 5 p.m., my mom had come back. She was traveling to Kampala, but she came back to Singo. So she told me, "Fiona," I was actually surprised. I was like, "Hey, Mommy, now you'll come back very fast." So she told me, "Fiona, first sit down." And then I said, "Uh-huh." She's like, "You sent me a message. I saw your message, but the moment I read it, I couldn't even continue with the journey. I got out of the taxi and boarded a taxi back to Sweden." So she sat me down, she started talking to me. She spoke all those words, which I don't remember, by the way, up to today. I don't remember any of the words she told me, but what I remember her telling me was that I was not the only one. And it was like a starting point for me to actually start swallowing my ARV. Because by the time I tested, I didn't accept to start swallowing medicine. It was a hard process for me. So I was given Septrin, I think, for around 3 months. And then after like by the beginning of 2017, I went back to the hospital and I told them, "You know what? I think I am ready to start ARVs." Now ARVs is a it's a very hard medicine. It's not like Panadol that you swallow and then you'll be fine. ARVs it's what most people fear, and you swallow it for a lifetime. For a lifetime. So think about it. If you live a messed up life, and there you go one day you go for an HIV test and it turns out positive, you're going to have to swallow this drug for your entire life, every day. Every day. So the beauty is not about wearing this crown, the sash. No, that's not where the beauty is. The beauty is to let all of us know that HIV is actually still there, and we still have a lot to do. And when people like us come out, we're not saying that, "Oh my God, I'm so proud, I'm the Miss Y Plus, I'm HIV positive." But it's just for us to reflect on ourselves. I'm not ready to swallow that pill until the cure comes. We don't know when the cure is coming. But again, you can be ready to abstain. You can be ready to say, I'll wait until I'm married. Or you can be ready to say that I'll have to pass test with this person before I actually sleep with them. It's much positive that way than actually being reckless and then you get the virus and then you're like, okay, I also now it's time. And then you go ahead, spreading it to everyone. So my time from 2017, I remember that was around my first year in campus. It was a very hard time. It's a very, very hard time. I wouldn't love to see someone getting HIV, you people. It is not the best thing, it's not the best story that can ever happen to anybody. And as young people, we have dreams, we aspire for so many things. Yeah? So I was at Makerere. I recently graduated with a degree in Bachelor of Journalism and Communication. And thank you. Yeah, I scored in second class, but I have one reason why I didn't really excel the way I wanted to excel. Now, during my time at campus, I went through a series of depressions. It was a hard time adjusting to my status. I'm HIV positive. I had friends, I had orgies whom I was studying with, and there were times where I had to make myself stay alone. You look at yourself and you're like, Baliana Tegera, Baliana Fontegera. And each time I kept running out of lectures, like I wouldn't want to be in lecture rooms, I kept skipping lectures, I kept doing all things that someone would do because they're discriminating themselves. And that's what HIV does to you. Most of the times you find yourself, you start hating yourself and you think everyone outside is hating you. So I sometimes I wouldn't even swallow my medicine, yet the doctor said us you have to swallow medicine every day. So I lost a lot of weight, I kept forgetting, yeah? And I thought it was the medicine, it wasn't the medicine, it was depression that was taking me. I almost committed suicide. But somehow God helped me out of it. I was able to seek counseling, and with time I started picking up slowly by slowly. I started joining the health clubs at my facility, the Victor's Club. I started learning different sessions. I started learning how do I stay HIV positive without infecting someone? How do I keep my viral load suppressed? Parents call it viral load suppression, where someone who is HIV positive cannot infect someone else. So when you swallow your ARVs well, you stay suppressed, and your body, your immunity is actually boosted. You keep you're very fit. You stay healthy. I started learning all those things, and of course, I started meeting people who had crowns. I asked myself, hey, what do these people with crowns do? Who are they? How do you share this? And understand who you are for God and my country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Njabaleko basewo banyabo amanya nze Rufuna Nagayi basoroti naye ebiseera bino mbeera Kampala nsomera ku Kyamuka University ndi mu mwaka gwange ogusembayo semester yasembayo. Nsanyuse nnyo okuba nga ndi nammwe leero wano celebrating the World AIDS Day. We are commemorating the World AIDS Day. Kisufu okuba nga ndi ku IU leero. Ba students babadde very receptive naffe sharing our experiences. Tekibadde kyangu kubanga nvayo ng'omwana muwala alina akawuka akaleeta mukenenya. It's not been easy disclosing my status to the public, but I have come out as an individual, appreciated who I am, nakkiriza nemba nga nze ono sirina kyengenda kukyusa kubanga nina akawuka akaleeta mukenenya. So this is who I am. I'm not going to change it. Today we are celebrating courage. Obuvumu obuli mu bantu abavuddeyo abakkiriza abagenze ne batestinga leero tubajjukiza nti okubanga weekebeza kiba kirungi okubanga ogenda ku ddwaliro ne weekebeza gwe ne munno yenna yenna gw'oba osanze ne mwekebeza kiba kisufu okubanga buli omu amanyi ki wayimiridde mu ngeri yaki y'akawuka kaleeta ki. So I appreciate that today we are celebrating courage for both young and the old people living with HIV, and also those infected and affected, because everyone has been in this fight. People out there living with HIV. Boyo, tetunafuna cure na HIV, tetunafuna nti enkya tugenda kufumita empiso HIV ekuveeko, oba ekuve mu mubiri, oba ekuve mu musaayi. Kyensobola okugamba mira eddagala lyo, that is who you are. Go for your appointments. The partners babakebeze. Make sure you're protecting your partners and you're not infecting other people by suppressing your virus, because it's important to have a U equals to U.
Amanya gange enzekiyo na Bero mbeeredde Kampala era nsempimye okubeera wano olunaku olwaleero. Ebiseera ebisinga abavubuka tutera okulaga nti ensonga ya HIV tetukwatako nnyo, ate ebiseera ebisinga ffe ababeera emize egituleetera okubanga HIV esobola okutukwata mangu, kubanga ogenda n'okusanga abavubuka nobagamba mbuno kubanga tonnaba kukyusa oba okufumbirwa, oba tonnaba kukyusa kuzaala, oba tonnaba kukyusa kubeera na muntu yenna, waakiri sigala ng'okola ki, ng'oabstaininga nga weekuuma. Ate olaba nga ebyo byonna tosobola bikola, kozesa akafiira, weewala okukola ki, okubeera ng'ofuna akawuka. Ate n'abavubuka abasinga bali ku ddagala, abamu tumanyi okukozesa ebiragalalagala ne twerabira nti n'eddagala lino terikola bulungi okubeera nga tukozesa ebiragala tugambe omwenge. So n'ebyo byonna byonna tuba tulina okubyewala okulaba nga eddagala likola bulungi nnyo mu ffe ne lituyamba okubeera nga viral load yaffe omuwendo gw'akawuka mu kiseera gaffe guli wansi, okubeera nga tetusobola kusiiga muntu yenna akawuka n'okwekuuma. So eddagala treatment ya HIV iriwo first line, second line ne third line. Ebisingako awo omusawo yasobola obinyonyola, naye kiri nti omuntu okubeera ku first line yesookerako ddala okubeera ng'oweebwa eddagala ng'oba amaze okukebera ng'olina akawuka. Ate bwe bagamba nti first line eddagala lyayo likulemye okubeera ng'olimira, bakuza ku second line. Ate mu second line naye mulimu stage ezizaayo, naawe woba ofeerize ng'omuntu eddagala terikola ng'olwo bakuteeka ku third line, naye buli bw'ogenda okudda ku line endala eddagala bweyongera okubeera eddingi. So tulwana nnyo okulaba nti omuntu aba yakatestinga nga ali positive ne bamuwa eddagala, at least olina omakinga sure nti osigala ku line esooka, oba ku line esooka omira eddagala limu lyokka omulundi gumu, naye ku line ezisigadde zonna eddagala ly'owomira liba lingi, kati n'emirundi gy'owomira olunaku muliba lingi, kati awo liba likumenya nga gwe omuntu. Olaba nga basinga bw'aba tali ku first line agenda ku second line n'afeeriga okumira bulungi eddagala lye.